Action articles by Charlie Simmons. Proposal and objectives of my magazine. My magazine will outline and show the latest action films coming out this annual year, including articles and interviews about these action films, also rating these films. This magazine is a great way for our audience to view new action films, and there will be critics who write articles and reviews sharing their opinions and their viewpoints. The main purpose of my magazine being to inform customers and providing them with exclusive information about these films. Overall, the objective as a whole to promote these new films by starting off gaining publicity in North London, and the goal being to become more global and reach a wider range of audience. The name. The name of my magazine will be AA, Action Articles. I believe this is a good name as it straight away lets people know the content of the magazine. It's a name that is easy to read and will grab customer attention. My mood board. My mood board demonstrates and presents various action films, including the newest releases and the most well-known action films. The mood board helps attract customer attention as it fronts some of the world's most popular action films. The colour scheme. My colour scheme will be red, black and grey, as these are common colours for action films. These are usually colours that involve with the front covers of action film magazines. Red and black are colours that link closely with danger and violence, with ties in to the content based around action films. Form. My magazine will be available to all customers as an online copy and also including a print copy being published in busy places such as train stations. Roughly in the magazine there will be 70 to 80 pages including articles and film reviews of the most popular action films. My magazine price will be £4.99 for the print copy, and the online copy will cost £3.50. When buying a subscription for my magazine, costs for a month subscription will range from £4.99 a month or paying £49.99 for a whole year subscription and receiving the magazine monthly. My USP for my magazine is that it includes a chance for customers to win a prize for a 3-month free subscription. Content. My magazine will include plenty of content, for example reviews and articles from all the latest action films from critics. Also, 1 to 2 double-page spreads, articles on some of the world's most popular actors. The magazine also includes interviews, and on the online version, clips with and videos of interviews of actors and people part of the film production. Genre. I have picked action as my genre for my film magazine, as this is a very popular genre to most people aged from teenagers to middle-aged people. Action is a brilliant genre as it involves violence and danger, which always comes together for a very enjoyable watch. Font style. I have chosen the font style of Rogue Hero as I think this will work well on the heading on the top of my action film magazine. This font will be used for mostly headings and Rockwell font for text to keep the action tone. Resources and personnel. For this magazine, there will need to be many resources such as camera for taking photos for the magazine, photographer to have control of the camera, editor to edit and work with the writer on the magazine, models, and a social media team to help my magazine grow by doing collabs with social media stars to publicise this magazine. Distribution. My magazine will be distributed at busy places such as train stations and film festivals, hopefully being able to grow the magazine and sell it in bigger shops across the UK. Marketing methods. Social media. Collaborating with influencers and stars to promote the magazine. Subscriptions, posters and flyers around the local area. Target audience. The target audience of my magazine is 20 to 35-year-old men, as they are the most common age and gender groups to watch action films. As a secondary audience of mine would be young teenagers that are interested in action film magazines such as Marvel. Competition. Empire and Total Film are the 2 biggest action film magazines in the UK. I aspire for my magazine to be at the same level as them. Conclusion. In conclusion, this action film magazine has a purpose to inform our customers about the latest upcoming films, including articles and film reviews on the online copy and print. Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Okay, well thank you very much for that, Charlie. Yeah, it was good, it was very succinct. straightforward. So if we talk about the name, AA Action Articles, is that the full name? Is that's what it would be called, right?
Well, Action Articles and like AA for short, like.
AA for sure. It's just interesting. I thought it was an interesting choice, and sort of, I think you could explore that, and sort of, I thought it actually might have legs. That one, I thought it kind of interesting. I don't know why. It just sort of makes me sort of thought that's a different way of sort of presenting it. You've got this name, Action Articles, which kind of describes pretty much what you're putting into the magazine, I would imagine, or articles about action films. And then you just sort of abbreviated it to AA. It's kind of interesting. But I mean, the point I'm trying to make is it would be interesting to see how you can promote that as a sort of as a unique thing, as something that kind of, if you worked up a mock-up of the cover, which I'd love to see, then how would you actually integrate that? Would that be something that people would see? So the Action Articles is almost secondary to the fact that you've got this big sort of, this big badge, this AA badge. I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of something that you can maybe think about and sort of, just work on perhaps. Yeah, that would be good. Right, so if we actually go to the sort of the rest of it, the colours I wrote down. It's an interesting palette. If we look at the colour palette that you've actually developed and put on screen then.
What, my colour scheme?
Yeah, it's right at the beginning. Incidentally, this is a really good reason why you shouldn't really use animations quite so much in a presentation, because it takes a long time to get through. Here we go. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so the colours, weirdly, so in my day job, I work predominantly for HSBC Bank, right? I'm part of their global brand team, which is a huge brand, massive worldwide brand. These colours are part of our brand. So when I saw it, all I thought about was banking. And I know that's not really very fair, because other people wouldn't have that association. But it would be interesting to see how you'd apply that colour palette, because it is very kind of, dare I say, corporate. It looks kind of a little bit not actiony to me. It doesn't feel like it's got much punch. If you'll excuse the pun. And I think that would be that would really help. But the only way you can test it is by testing it. Is by actually applying those colours to some designs, just to see how it works, just to see how it plays out. I mean, how are you going to use those colours? Is it all the text? I mean, is it backgrounds? What's going to actually happen with them? I think it's just something just to explore.
I just think on the front cover, I think they're good colours, because it like danger, red and stuff like that. It links in closely with action.
I mean, I think your rationale is absolutely, on point. It's absolutely there. It's fine. It's just that I think maybe they all feel kind of, they're not as poppy as you sort of think. It doesn't have the punch, like I said. It doesn't really have that kind of weight behind it, for me. And because of that sort of corporate association, it's difficult to sort of get past that. But that's cool. Okay, can we have a look at the mood board? I wrote that down. There we go. That's the mood board. I think the mood board's really good. I think there's a lot going on there, isn't it? Which is brilliant, because it does show how busy this specific genre actually is. There's a lot to sort of, to get your teeth into, which is fantastic. The reason I've kind of gone back to this is actually to do with what you'd written and what you read out, which was in that second paragraph where it says the mood board helps to attract, what does that say? Attract customer attention?
Is it
so is that in your head, is that what a mood board does?
No, it shouldn't be that, to be honest.
So what does a mood board do? Why have we got one?
That just creates the idea for the brand.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Exactly, that's all you need to say. And then you can talk about why you've picked those images. And how much there is, and how much colour. I mean, that, again, going back to that colour palette, how much colour is there on the right-hand side of your screen? It's just, it's full of impact. There's loads going on. It's brilliant. If you isolate some of it, sure, you've got the reds and the blacks and the greys, but actually, overall, it feels bigger. Now, we go back to the colour thing. Don't have to. No, you don't have to. What I'm saying is that actually, you know, maybe that's where your thing plays into it.
Yeah.
The fact that actually the imagery that you have, that you are illustrating your whole magazine with, doesn't need something big next to it. Maybe it only needs white.
Yeah.
You know, for the text on a dark subject. Maybe it only needs black. But these are the things that you can do, but you can only do if you test it, and that means creating your double page spread and the cover just so that you see how they play out.
Yeah.
Okay? That's cool. I think your fonts are good. And again, that's a really nice, strong, solid choice. Shows you understand the genre. Perfect.
Yeah.
That works really well. You mentioned Marvel as a magazine. I can't remember where that was.
I think it was like target audience, I think.
Was it target audience? I can't remember where it was. Sorry for this. I sort of didn't write fast enough.
Yeah, I think it was here. Oh no.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So, let's go there.
Yeah.
Secondary audience, one. Young teenagers interested in action film magazines such as Marvel. Right, okay, so Marvel isn't a film magazine, is it?
No.
It's a
yeah.
brand
Yeah.
that encapsulates action films, comics, figures, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
What it isn't is a film magazine. So this is about detail,
Mhm.
okay? So I think it's just a matter of, before you present stuff, read it through, be as objective as you can, and I know that is really difficult, believe me, but be as objective as you can about what you've written and what you're going to talk about, and try and get those details right, because that, as you read it out, I was like, oh, hang on a second, is that a magazine?
Yeah.
Is that a film magazine? Is that? And it really kind of stuck in my head. And you don't want that sort of thing sticking in people's head when you're trying to pitch something to someone. You know, you want them to come away with all the positives, not the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. There are a few other bits and bobs, but I think on the whole, what you've done, you know, it's really strong. It's a really good start. It's just, you know, let's work it through, create that cover, test those colours, see how it all plays out, and then you'll be on your way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure? That's all.
Yeah.
Thanks.